Hey guys, welcome back to Atif Pervaiz. Today we are going to start a brand new provider statement series. In this series, we will learn provider statement thoroughly. And this series will be a good option for those who have no basic understanding of what is statement and how to use statement inside our applications. So if you are a newbie or you have some basic idea of Flutter application, but you don't know that how to manage states by using any kind of statement, then this series will be a good for you, right? So I'm assuming that you have some basic understanding of what is Flutter and how to create application using Flutter. Because I'm not going to teach you a basic thing that what is material app and what is scaffold widget and how to create widgets and how to create class. You know what I mean? Because if I do that thing, then it will be a wastage of time for us in this series, right? So let's start the provider statement. And before starting the practical part, I wanted to give you some I wanted to let you know some basic things which is mandatory in this series, right? So a part of that, we have two widgets, stateless and stateful. I know most of you have a basic understanding of what are stateless and stateful widgets, but I'm again telling you a difference. If you have a basic understanding, it will be a good option. You can skip that part, but if you don't know, then you can listen that part. So stateless means a widget that has no any state. If a user click on that specific widget, widget will not perform any kind of action, right? And stateful means whenever a user interact that widget, then that widget will perform a specific action like a button. Whenever user click on a button, then button will show some actions or something like that. So move towards statement. What is statement? So if you see here, we have a word state management. It means to manage the state of our application. So before managing the state, you should have the understanding of what is state. So what is state? In Flutter, a state is a data that describes the UI of a widget at any given moment in time. Right? In Flutter, widgets are often stateful. Mostly in Flutter, we have a stateful widgets, meaning that their appearance and behavior can change based on their state. To manage the state, we use stateful widgets. We cannot manage the state by using stateless widgets, right? So this is what is state, right? I know that this just textual data will not clear you what is state. That's why I have created this diagram for you. If you see here, we have state, and then inside the state we have view and logic. View is basically a UI which is watched by a user or any client, and this view is basically uses a logic that is developed by a developer, right? So this logic is used by view, and this view is watched by user that is coming from this state, and this state is updating this view by using that logic, right? I know that this diagram will not be fulfill all your learning requirement. That's why I have created example for you. So this is the example, add to cart example. If you see here, we have two items, right? And then there is a price of that item, and then we have three calculation point, total, taxes, and subtotal, right? If we click on plus icon, then this plus icon will add $2,039 in total amount, right? And if we add if we click on this Beats by Dre Studio item, then the application will add $139 inside this total, right? So basically these buttons are adding and removing the amount of that particular item from the total, right? So this is the example of view and logic. If this part is basically a view, right? And the logic behind that view which is controlling the increment and decrement and creating total and managing the total is our logic, right? So this is a basic example of the state. So I hope you will now understand. You will now have the understanding of the state. Now move towards the Flutter statements. In Flutter, we have different options for managing the state. By officially, we just have set state. Flutter does not provide any other option to manage the state of our application. It is just providing the set state method to manage the states, right? But we have some other options that are provided by third parties like Block Provider, Riverpod, Mobex, Redux, Fish Redux, GetX, and Winter. And there are some other options which we can use to manage states of our application like Velocity X. So these are the statements which we have provided by third parties and by Flutter official. So in this series, we are going to explore provider statement series. We will see this. We will use provider to manage the states of our applications. Now, what is statement provider? Provider is not basically a statement, but a architecture that helps us to manage the states of our application, right? If you see here, provider is a simple, flexible, and lightweight statement solution for Flutter. It is easy to learn and use, making it a popular choice for many Flutter developers. So this is just a basic definition of provider statement. There are some methods you should know before starting provider. I know this textual part is not a part of our this series, but before moving towards the practical implementation, you should have the basic understanding, the syntax of that particular things which we will implement it in the practical part. So you should have the understanding of that thing. You should have the understanding of syntax. That's why I have created this presentation for you, so you can get to know that what we are going to do and what we are doing in the practical implementation part, right? So these are the things that you should know before starting the provider. Like here is chain notify provider.off context, then there is consumer, then there is chain notifier, and then there is notified listener. I know that these things are right now unaware for you because we don't know that what is the purpose of these things, right? So we will implement them one by one in the practical part in our application. So you can understand that what are the purposes of these things, right? So for now, these things are just for you for your understanding. Now there are some providers like listenable provider, change notify provider, value listenable provider, stream provider, and feature provider. I wanted to tell you again that these things can be frustrated to you, but you should not be frustrated by watching this textual video, because these things are you can say a mandatory part for the development part. That's why I'm showing this thing. But I wanted to tell you that if you watch this provider statement series, then this series will be very beneficial for you. But if you skip any video from the mid and then watch from the last part, then you will not understand what we are going to do and what we are doing, because everything in this series will be connected with its previous part. So you have to watch all the things in chronological orders, right? So the next thing is consumer. We will use consumer in multiple times in this series. That's why I have created a slide for you. So what is consumer? The consumer is a widget that listens to a provider and transfers the information to the constructor, right? So we will see this also in the development video. So right now this is just for your understanding. And now the difference between set state and consumer. Set state and consumer are not too much different from each other, but there is some basic difference. Set state basically build a whole screen whenever this set state method calls, right? Whereas consumer build just that specific widget which we want to rebuild whenever that method calls, right? So this is the basic difference between set state and consumer. In the next video, we will watch the implementation of the provider. So at the end, it is my request from all of you who are watching this series, please watch all the things properly. Instead of skipping a part of videos, you should watch all the things properly, because if you skip any part of this series, then you will not understand what we are doing, right? So if you want to get advantage from this series, then you have to watch all the things in order, so you can understand what we are doing, and this will be valuable for you. For me, it is valuable when I was learning, but for you now, it will be valuable for you if you watch all the things in a logically order, right? So I'm assuming that you will understand my point, what I wanted to deliver you.